G'day, it's Pete here. Um, I've been doing some online BBO lessons, so just directly through Bridgebase, not through Bridgestream or Twitch TV, but just directly onto Bridgebase, and I'm going to do 4 lessons. And this was the first lesson I did, and it's my standard thing I like to do called Where Are the Cards? Now, it's just all about identifying where the missing cards are. And this one was done directly through Bridgebase Online, and I got some questions. So hope you like it. Enjoy. Okay, so here I have 18 points, so I just plan to show this as I was planning to rebid 2 no trumps if partner responded, but they didn't. So now I can just rebid 1 no trump because partner didn't show a response and just show 18, 19. But okay, I've described my hand, so let's give that a go. Okay, so let's just go through a few of the things of working out where the missing cards are. So firstly, to make this easier on ourselves, I take a moment at the start of the hand to remember what my hand shape is and what dummy's hand shape is. And now the way, whenever I'm talking about hand shapes, I always talk in the suit rank order, such as spades, hearts, diamonds, clubs. So on this hand, I have a 2, 4, 3, 4, and dummy has a 4, 4, 2, 3. So I just take a moment to remember that at the start of the hand. It's not vital, but sometimes when you get lost track of trying to remember where the cards are, if you've just taken a moment at the start of the hand to work out the hand shapes of both your hand and dummy, it's a lot easier in the long run. Okay, so another question is, whenever partner leads, is you want to take a moment and think, what can that lead be from? So let's just have a moment and think, what can that lead be from? Okay, so the lead of the 6 of clubs from partner could either be probably just top of a doubleton or possibly a singleton 6. Let's just take a moment as well to look at what do we know from the bidding. What's the minimum restraints on West's hand? And we're lucky enough to play against the robots and they have well-described bids, so take a moment and look what they've actually got. And the bidding just says that West can have 5 diamonds and at least 4 clubs. Okay, so it is possible that my partner led from a doubleton. It's also reasonable that my left hand West has a 5-5 shape or something like that as well. So it might have been from a singleton as well. Another important thing to ask is, how many high card points do the missing hands have? So let's take a moment to work that out. Okay, so I have 18 points. The east hand has 6. So there are 24 points between our 2 hands. So there's a total of 40, and the missing hands have a combined total of 16. And it looks like West has the vast majority of them, and that my partner doesn't have too many. Okay, so after taking all this time at the start, let's get into it and start trying to play the hand and work out what the hand shapes and where the points are of the missing cards are. Okay, so let's take a moment and work out, what do we know about the club suit? We now know that my partner did lead top of a doubleton, in which case it looks like West's handshape might be they've only got they've only got 4 clubs, and they might have as few as 5 diamonds. So even at this stage, we know that West might have something like a 2-2-5-4 or a 3-1-5-4, or a few possible shapes. So at this stage, I start trying to just think of a few different hand shapes that they might have had. They might have 6 diamonds or that sort of stuff. Okay, so again, let's take another moment. So what's West done is they've played 3 rounds of spades. So we know that they've got 3 spades. The bidding tells us that they've got 5 diamonds. So at this point, it looks extremely likely that their hand shape is a 3-1-5-4. Okay, and now they've followed to the heart. So this just confirms pretty much all our ideas. So let's just take a moment and think. If West has a 3-1-5-4, what hand shape would that give our partner? Our partner should have 4 spades, 4 hearts, 3 diamonds, and 2 clubs. Now the points that my partner have is something like the jack of hearts, and they might have the jack of diamonds, but besides that, West has all the other missing points. So let's just play this out and see how we went on working out where the missing cards are. Okay, we saw the jack of diamonds, so we know that my partner just had the jack of hearts. There were no other points they had. We're going to get the rest of the tricks now. West is out of clubs because we made them trump once. Okay, so we managed to beat them 3 tricks for plus 150. Now, if you look in the bottom right corner, if you're on the My Results page, you can see that West did have a 3-1-5-4, and that our partner did have a 4-4-3-2. Now, this is the sort of process that I like to go through and work out where all the missing cards are and try and place where all the points are. So the important steps are, at the start of the hand, look at the hand shape of your hand and dummy's hand. Then think, what could the lead have been from? Where are the missing, how many high card points do the hidden hands have? And what do we know from the bidding? So that's all the things I try and do at trick 1 if I'm trying to place cards on a hand. And then throughout the hand, we wait and see when do the missing hands show out of suits, or if we know that they've played their last card, how did the suit divide? And as soon as you do that, you start trying to place the hand. So as soon as I saw my partner's second club, I had a reasonable guess that they might have a 3-1-5-4 or a 2-2-5-4. And that was trick 3 of the hand. There was a fair amount of information we got to have. Now, placing the cards isn't useful on every hand, but it's quite useful on a whole bunch of hands. And if you do practice it over and over again, it becomes a lot easier. So that was hand 1 of Where Are the Cards? So does anyone have any questions? I'll just click redeal, but if you've got any questions, just message to Diana and I'll try and answer it to the best I can. No questions? All right. I'll move on. So basically, you need to practice this and get it so routine for you that it just becomes second nature, so that when you're in the heat of battle or playing at the bridge table, it's just nice and easy and natural, and you're not spending too much of your time doing it. After down 3 instead of down 1, we're just speechless. Yeah. Now, if you're not quite used to thinking about hand shapes, BridgeBase actually has a really good game that's called the counting game. Now, I used to practice this a bit, and basically, I'll copy a link of the counting game in for you, but it's just it's a really good program to make sure you know how to count to, well, not to make sure you know how to count to 13, but it helps you with hand patterns and all this sort of stuff. So if you're just not too used to counting in hand shapes, this is a really good program that the BridgeBase guys developed. I recommend giving that just a brief go. Not brief go, just playing it until it becomes really easy to do. Okay, so for locating where the cards are, I really recommend practice, practice, practice. So let's just do a few more hands, and if you've got any questions, make sure you send the questions to Diana, and I'll make sure I answer them. So usually during an auction, yep, so I'll go back and answer the hands for question 1 after this hand as well. So usually during an auction, I take some time, and during the bids, while the opponents are thinking about their bids, I usually take some time and try and work out what possible hand shapes they might have for bids and what inferences you can have from the bidding. I usually do that during the auction, because sometimes your opponents take a long time, and you want to use that thought time not just to sit there thinking, why are they spending so much time on this, but actually using it for some of the counting stuff that you're going to do during the card play. However, with robots, because they're just instantaneous, I just pass and wait until the end, and then look at their bids. So if we look at this auction, East opened 1 diamond, West bid 1 heart, East bid a no trump. So East has 12 to 14 points, and they also have at least 4 diamonds. Now West didn't check to see if they had a heart fit, so West probably only has 4 hearts, and somewhere around 12 to 15 points or something like that. Maybe a bit stronger, but that's what they usually have. Okay, so I'll just lead a spade here. Okay, so they just raced through trick 1. So let's just take a moment and go through the process again. Okay, so firstly, what was the hand shape of our hand? We had 5 spades, 4 hearts, 1 diamond, and 3 clubs. Now, what about dummy? They have a 3, 4, 5, 1, with 3 spades, 4 hearts, 5 diamonds, and 1 club. Okay, so that's just to aid our memory for later in the hand. Now, also, how many high card points do the hidden hands have? So I had 5 high card points, and dummy, the Queen of Spades is gone, but they had 14 high card points. So we had 19 high card points between the 2 hands. There's a total of 40. So that leaves 21 between the 2 missing hands. And we know East has between 12 and 14, so our partner's got between 7 and 9 points. Okay, And trick 1, we saw the ace of spades. So it went low spade, queen, ace. Now, whenever partner plays an honour, which we've led to, if they've got equal honours, they should be playing the lower of touching honours. So just from that trick, we know that East has the king of spades and our partner doesn't have it. Okay, so our partner had the ace of spades and not the king. Now also they've played the ace of clubs. So of our partner's 7 to 9 points, we have now nearly seen all of them. They might have a jack more, and the only jack they might have is the jack of diamonds. So let's take some moments. So that gives East the king of spades, the king queen of hearts, the queen of clubs, and the queen of diamonds. We don't know the location of the jack of diamonds. Okay. Also, what else do we know from the bidding? So it is an important auction where it goes 1 diamond, 1 heart, pass, 1 no trump. Now, some players are able to bid 1 no trump like this and with a spade suit. Some people bypass their spades. Other people will just bid their suits up the line. It's just a style thing, but it's important to know what style your opponents play if you're trying to place the cards. Now, the robots deny a 4-card spade suit when they do this, so we know that they don't have 4 spades, they don't have 4 hearts. Whereas against some other people, East could have a 4-card spade suit. Okay, so if we had to guess East's shape, it might be something like a 3-3-4-3 or a 3-2-4-4. I don't know what they open if they've got 4-4 in the minors, but we'll see. But so far we've placed nearly all the missing high card points. Okay, so West threw a diamond and a heart. So it's important to try and think of what the hand shape might be based on what their discards are, because that looks like they threw a winning diamond. In fact, we know they threw a winning diamond. Now that might be because East also has 5 diamonds and discarding a diamond didn't matter. But besides that, there's not a lot of other information we can gather from that. Okay, so if we go back to that last trick, what we saw was our partner did have the jack of diamonds, but also it was important to notice that they followed to 3 rounds of diamonds. So East has only 4 diamonds. So at this point, we know that they've got either a 3-3-4-3 or a 3-2-4-4. They're the only 2 hand shapes. The doubleton could be in either major. Okay, now we know East's exact hand shape. We've seen them follow to the 3rd heart. Sorry, we know they've got 3 hearts, so another hand shape's gone. They're either a 2-3-4-4 or a 4-3-3-3. And at this final point, it took us a while, but we got there, and there are a 2-3-4-4. So this hand we were pretty weak. We didn't get to play many of the suits, and it took us a while to see any person show out of any given suit. So on hands like this, it's actually really tough to work out what the exact hand shape is, but we had a rough idea from early on what they were limited to. It didn't really matter for us because we basically knew we'd be able to get those tricks, and that's all the tricks we could actually get. But yeah. Okay, so does anyone have any questions, and what were the questions from hand number 1? So from hand 1, what do we have? How come I passed it out? Could you not bid something over 2 clubs, for example 2 hearts? Here the opponents were trying to play in one of my long suit. I might have bid again if they bid to 2 diamonds, but here they were trying to play in my own suit. And partner didn't want to bid over 1 diamond or even 1 no trump. So if they had a shortage in one of the suits, they've already told me they've got less than 6 points when they pass. So they're open to be bidding 2 hearts or 2 spades or something on a 5-card suit and a weak hand. So just because they don't have 6 points, they've already told me that on the first bid. So they could have done that on the second bid if they had a reasonable suit to bid. Now, of length, they might bid a 5-card suit. Now, when the opponents bid 2 clubs, it looked like they weren't going to be, it wasn't going to play so well for them, and I would be able to get a positive score out of that. Bidding to 2 hearts is sort of hoping that for some reason my partner's got hearts and we've got a fit. And it might go poorly if the east-west hands get like go ace of clubs, king of clubs, trump of club or something like that. So it seemed like I was going to get a decent positive out of defending 2 clubs, and described my hand pretty well by the second bid, so I was happy to pass it out. On that last hand, I didn't throw the jack of clubs away. It's something I could have considered. I'm not sure if anyone asked me, but I could have unblocked the jack of clubs. It wouldn't have actually mattered because my clubs were jack, 8, 7. Sorry, it would actually matter, but here, because I knew my partner didn't have any more points or tricks to get in, I knew that unblocking wouldn't have actually helped, and it might have risked giving a trick away if the robot switched to the 10 from like ace 10 fifth or something like that. So I didn't think there was any need to do that. Yeah. Are there any other questions? Oh, yep. Someone felt I went a bit too fast on discovering the distribution. Alright, I'll slow it down. I'll give you some more time. I'll ask some questions and then give you a bit longer on that. Thanks for that. Okay, let's go on. Here I got a weak hand with good heart suit. so I can open a weak 2. At this vulnerability, I might even consider preempting 3 as a possibility. Okay, so let's look at what East has shown. They've shown sort of a strong no trump with stoppers in hearts, and no one else took a bid. If my partner had good hearts, they might have raised to 3 hearts over 2 hearts. So I don't suspect that their hearts are that good, but I got quite a reasonable hand, so I'm not afraid of leading a heart in this situation. The West hand didn't bid on, so they probably don't have like 8 or more points. With 8 or more, they should be bidding game. Some 7 counts or 6 counts might bid game as well. So I don't suspect that dummy will come down with a particularly good hand. How wrong I was. Okay, let's just take a moment again. So what was our hand shape? We are a 3, 6, 1, 3 with 3 spades, 6 hearts, 1 diamond, and 3 clubs. What is the hand shape of dummy? Dummy is a 3, 2, 5, 3. Okay, how many high card points do the missing hands have? I had 7. Dummy had 9. So between us we have 16 high card points, and there is a total of 40. So that leaves 24 for the opponents, of which we know East has between 14 and 18. So at best my partner can have 10, but can have as few as 6. Okay, our partner didn't return a heart. So what do we think the layout of the heart suit is? Now, if the robot's being a nice partner to me, they should return a heart here if they had one, because I led the queen and there's only sort of one more stopper. So the most likely reason they didn't return a heart is that they just had a singleton. And that also fits with the bidding as well. So I would guess that the heart distribution is 6 with me, 2 with West, 1 with North, and 4 with East. If that's the case, I won't be able to set up the heart suit, so I can discard a couple of hearts. Okay, our partner just won the King of Spades, so that's 7 of their possible 10 points. It doesn't look like they will have much more, especially when they play the 8 of clubs. So that might be the last points they have. They might have something like the Queen of Diamonds. I don't think I've seen that yet. But we know that they don't have the Ace of Spades because that makes the hand too strong. Okay, so here we've followed to 3 rounds of spades, so we know the spade suit divides 4 triple 3 around the table. We're not totally sure who's got the 4th spade yet. I would guess that the east hand has it, just based on the play of the cards. But they might just have only winners left, so decided to just play spades first. Okay, and now we've seen that. So we think that east has 4 spades, 4 hearts. So we think they're a 4-4-3-2 of some description. Okay, and they're going to be nice and end play me now. So they're going to get the last couple of tricks. Okay, and they made 9, and my partner did have the queen of diamonds. So if you look down the bottom right, you see that east had a 4-4-2-3 in that exact shape. Here, working out the play of the cards meant that when I got in with the ace of clubs, I knew that I didn't have to continue with hearts, because my partner would have led one if they had one, so they have a singleton, so I don't need to continue hearts. And then it required that east actually play the hand well to end play me in hearts, so that they get their heart trick. So I made them do the work rather than me. But here we worked out where most of the missing high card points were. Yeah. Do we have any questions on hand number 3? Not yet? Okay, well, I'll just go on to hand number 4. As you can see, there's lots of common things. It's not too challenging, but you have to just get into the practice of it and make sure you don't get lazy in the play. Take some time to work out where the missing cards are and just repeat and keep going until it really sinks in. Now, nearly all the expert players do this, and it's just practice until it just becomes second nature for you. So I strongly recommend you do this when you're playing sometimes, especially if you're not playing a serious event or anything like that. Just take some time where your sole focus is to work out where the cards are, such that it becomes second nature for you. Okay, I got to declare a hand for a change. Okay, so let's just go through the process. So what hand shape is my hand? I have a 3-2-3-5. And what hand shape is the dummy? They have a 3-2-4-4. Now again, this is just helpful if you forget it later in the hand, you might be able to remember. Okay. Now, what do we know from the bidding? Okay. West didn't want to open the bidding because they don't have 12 plus points. Also, no one wanted to overcall over 1 diamond. But the opponents have a 9-card heart fit. So if I had to guess the distribution of the hearts, I would guess that West has 5 hearts and East has 4. Now the reason I guess that is because the opponents have a reasonable amount of points, and if East had a 5-card heart suit, they would almost certainly overcall 1 heart. But it's tougher for the West hand to bid hearts because they have to bid it over the over 1 no trump, so they could only bid 2 hearts. So from the bidding, it looks like West has 5 hearts and East has 4. Sorry, almost missed a step. How many high card points do the missing hands have? Now I have 7 points. Dummy has 12, so we have a total of 19. Now that leaves 21 points for the missing hands, of which we know West does not have 12 points, so East must have at least 10 points. Could have more. Okay, the robots are nice and switched for me. And they switched again. I think they're trying to help me a bit here. I still probably won't make it. Okay, so here's the first concrete part of the counting we've got, is how did the clubs divide? If you remember, I had 5 clubs and Dummy had 4. Now they've both followed to 2 rounds, so we know the club suit divided 2-2. So if we're thinking about the hand, it looks like West has 5 hearts and 2 clubs. So what do we reckon West's hand shape might be? West might have something like a 4-5-2-2. They might have a 3-5-3-2, or something similar to that. Now, the reason I reckon something like a 3-5. If they had a 3-5-3-2, that would give East hand both 2 4-card mages, so they might have made a takeout double on that hand if they have 10 points and 4-4 in the mages or something like that. So the hand shape's not quite fitting the picture yet, so we might need a bit more evidence before we can say what it is for sure. Okay, so now we've seen 2 discards of the spade suit from the West hand. So we know that West had 4 spades. So it looks like West has something like a 4-5-2-2. If West had 5-5 in the mages, they probably would have bid a Michael's Cubid, so not too worried about that. So I'm almost, I'd be happy to lock in the 4-5-2-2, except we're still on the hypothetical guess of a hearts from the initial play, but we'll see. Okay, and there's West with the 5th spade as well, so shows me. So we got that slightly wrong because East didn't want to overcall on their Jack 5th heart. Now, a variety of people probably would, but West had 5 spades, 4 hearts, 2 diamonds and 2 clubs. So we're pretty close on the hand shape. We didn't know which opponent had the extra heart. But besides that, we managed to work it out. And as you can see the points, West has 10 and East has 11, so they were pretty well split. Do we have any questions from hand number 4 of where are the cards? Yeah, I also have several questions about how the robots choose to defend. It's quite confusing. The Working out where the cards are is a lot easier if you're playing against human players because uh, they follow. They do less stuff that appears random. There are certain things that they just usually do, such as they might lead fourth highest from their longest and strongest more often. The robots tend to pick a few random cards because they realize that it doesn't matter or something based on double dummy analysis. But they can confuse the hell out of you. But playing against people, a few other things that you can do to work out where the missing cards are is actually know what their lead structure is and ask them what do they overlead, do they underlead, do they lead fourth highest, or do they lead thirds and fifths or something like that. And you can also get a lot more information from their signals as well. Now you don't need that information some of the time. You can just work it out based on how we're doing it without the signals. And just trying to work out what could they have done in the bidding that might have been something different. So here some people would overcall the east hand one heart. You've got an 11 count with 5 hearts. So because east decided not to do that, it made it tougher for me to work out where the missing cards are. I don't have a very good hand here. So let's take a moment. So East opened 1 no trump, 15 to 17. West bid Stayman. East bid 2 hearts. West bid 3 no trumps. So we know West has 4 spades, and these robots are quite conservative on their game bidding, so I expect West to have about 10 points, and well, at least 10 points, probably more because I don't have many. My partners are past hand, so they don't have 12. So they might have 11. So at most the opponents have 27 high card points, so it looks like they'll be fairly safe in this hand. My partner also had the option to double 2 clubs, but didn't want to do that because they might not have a good enough club suit. So my choices are between leading a club, which is probably the normal lead, or hoping that I find partners diamond suit and leading a diamond. But again, they chose not to bid 2 diamonds, which they might have done with a really good diamond suit. I'll lead a club, but I reckon on this hand a diamond lead could be the right lead, but that's sort of more of hoping than anything else. Okay, so let's just go through it again. What hand shape did I have? I had 4 spades, 3 hearts, 2 diamonds, and 4 clubs. And what was Dummy's hand shape? Dummy had 4 spades, 3 hearts, 4 diamonds, and 2 clubs. Okay. And how many high card points do the missing hands have? So here I have 2 points, Dummy had 10, so between us we have 12. So there's a total of 28 missing, of which we know East has 15 to 17. So my partner has between 9 and 11 high card points. Now what happened at trick 1 is I led a low club, it went small, small, jack. Now this is a bit of an interesting play. Now if East had something like ace, king, queen, jack of clubs, usually they don't win the jack because they want to hide the fact that they've got so many points there. But also then again, my partner didn't play third hand high. They stuck in the 8. They might have tried that from something like Queen 9-8, which might be possible. And they might be trying to beat the 10 of clubs in the West hand. It's not totally clear what happened, where the layout of the clubs are, but we know that East has pretty good clubs. Also, the heart suit, we know East has at least 4 hearts, so they're going to divide 4, 3, 3, 3. On occasion, East might have a 5-card heart suit, in which case my partner has a doubleton. But let's see if we can work out the hand shapes of both the missing hands. Okay. So when we were counting points, we I think said, so let's just redo it because I've just had a mental blank. 10 points were in dummy, I had 2, so that's 12 points. 28 missing points, so my partner has between 9 and 11 because East has 15 to 17. We've now seen the Ace of Hearts and the King of Clubs, so they've got between 2 and 4 more points. And as we suspected from trick 1, our partner did have a club card. So yeah, we'll carry on. How did the spades divide? Dummy had 4, I had 4, and East has now played the third one, so our partner's got 2 spades. So we know East is 3 spades and 4 hearts. Sorry, I just clicked through a bunch of tricks there a bit quick. So they'd cashed a couple of diamonds and okay, so they, after the spade went to the queen, they then led Jack of diamonds to the ace, and I followed. Now that was with my doubleton diamond. Then they played another diamond, and that was my doubleton diamond. They played the ace king of diamonds, and now they're playing a heart. So it looks like East has something like 3 spades, 4 hearts, 2 diamonds, 2 or 3 diamonds, and if they've got 3 diamonds, they've got 3 clubs, and if they've got 2 diamonds, they've got 4 clubs. Now what I can realize is that it doesn't look like they'll be able to get back to the dummy, so my only thing to worry about is if they've got 2 clubs left, so I'll throw a spade. Okay, so they were a 3-4-4-2, which was a possible hand, and our partner did have 11 points, and that was the absolute maximum for what they could have had. Now it's sort of tough to work out where all the missing cards are when you're just a really weak hand and you don't get to play the suits you want. And it's really tough when the robots are doing it and they just keep alternating between suits. Now when you play against humans, they'll usually play sort of one suit for a little while and then play the next suit, so it's a lot easier to keep track of where the missing, how the cards are dividing when they do that. Also my partner didn't show out in any suit, so that was another challenge. Other confusing thing on this hand was my partner playing the 8 of clubs when I led a club. They could have just stuck in the queen of clubs, and then we would have beaten this contract. I think they get 4 diamond tricks, 3 spade tricks, and a club. So we can beat it 1 trick if my partner played 3rd hand high, which I wouldn't have thought was too challenging. But does anyone have any questions? Yeah, what about the defense? I did find the killing lead, but my partner didn't find the killing defense of playing 3rd hand high, which wasn't the best. I'm not sure how I can convince the robots. Okay, could partner have doubled for a club lead on this hand? I would say yes. This is about the minimum club holding you would consider doing it on. But being a passed hand, I reckon it's a lot easier to double on this because you can't have as good of hand all the time when you pass. So I reckon this is completely fine to make a lead directing 2 clubs at double on. Now the main fear when you double 2 clubs is that they redouble and try and play there. Here you've also got the ace of hearts, which is another defensive trick, so I don't think that will happen very often, so I'd be quite happy to double for a club lead on the north hand. I was considering leading a diamond based on that, because if partner's diamond suit was king queen 9-8 to 5, the diamond lead might have been what needed to do it. Did it matter that I led the 5? I have no idea what the robot's leading agreements are for leading from 4 small cards. Let's reload the hand and see what will happen if I lead the 2, see if they play a... So usually I lead the 2 to say, yeah, I actually like the suit, rather than I've got a pile of garbage and feel free to swap. So from 4 small I tend to lead second highest. I don't know what the robots infer from it, but they usually lead like from 4 small or 3 small. But I'll just reload the hand and see what happens if they if I lead the 2 of clubs. Okay, so I guess it does matter. I don't know what the robots work out from my different leads are, and whether the 5 they expected it to be 4th highest, in which case I had ace jack 7 5 and they could have I can't see how the 5 would affect them unless they thought I had like led 5 from 3 small. I don't know what they actually think about it, but I guess they want me just to lead 4th highest. But in my usual partnerships I just lead second highest from 4 small if I'm just playing those sorts of leads. Okay, so that's about it for the hour. If you've got any questions, I'm happy to stick around for a little bit to answer them. So basically, working out where the cards are, you just need to sort of get into the routine and practice it a lot. So I strongly recommend you just get in there, try it, practice, 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 and you'll be right. Yeah, so the main thing is remembering what the hand shapes are at the start of the hand, because that might help you at the end. working out what the lead could be from, what we can do from the bidding, and whenever a person shows out in a suit, stop and work out how the suit divided. But yeah, so that was my Where Are the Cards. If you liked this, I do some more stuff online. I'll just post the link, but it's bridgestream.weebly.com, and also I do some stuff during live commentary while I play on a site called twitch.tv, but that's only when I'm actually live, so during specific hours, but you can find the times on my website. So I'll just post the link now. So yeah, the bridgestream.weebly.com is my website, and you can find lots of old videos, more of this sort of Where Are the Cards type stuff. And I'm in Australia, so the times that I commentate live might not be too convenient for everyone, but you can follow me live on at www.twitch.tv/Peter Hollins during certain hours when I'm streaming live. Hope you all enjoyed the lesson, and I'll see you next week. Thanks.